Hello, my fellow Shirelings. Welcome to this little corner of my garden. It's the autumn, so there isn't so much happening here right now, but we've got some scraggly little plants still clinging to life. But I wanted to take a moment to tell you about what's been going on my Patreon page, because I am increasingly using it as, I don't want to say like a blog, but it's increasingly been my main hub of activity, even more so than like Instagram or social media. And the reason I want to share more about it with you is to not only tell you what you can find there, but to remind you that you can join for free. You just create a Patreon account, and they have a new chat feature. I know I should be on Discord more often. It just gets difficult when you have so many balls in the air. And since I'm already doing so much on Patreon, I invite you to join me there and to pop into one of our chats and say hello. And if you have the means to do so, please also have a look around and check out the different tiers. There are different things available depending on which benefits you're interested in. The one I particularly want to talk to you about today is one I designed specifically for those of you who subscribe to this channel, who are interested in living a slower pace of life, a more hobbity or halfling pace of life. It's called the Hearth Tier, and it's very much inspired by cozy seasonal living. I don't really know how else to describe it. There is a strong element, I'd say, of cottagecore and hobbitcore. If you don't know what those terms mean, don't worry. They are describing an aesthetic. So things like this, like little head kerchief, gardening, watering cans, baked goods, watering cans. There you go. Cottagecore and hobbitcore. It's all about watering cans. I'm actually pretty into that. I'm actually really into that. But anyway, it's about cozy, wholesome, slow living, unhurried living, taking your time and enjoying the little pleasures of life. So all of my content on Patreon is focused on seasonal living to varying degrees. In the Wildling tier, which is the lowest tier, you will get seasonal garden updates, and you'll have access to my monthly fireside chats where I sit down and I share what's going on with my life, and especially in the creative realm, just kind of like what I'm doing here. And then there's the Natureling tier, where you get quarterly seasonal gifts, which will be some of my photography, including a portrait of me, attempting to embody some theme of the season, usually in tandem with a poem that I've also written to convey the theme of that season. It's not always 100% cohesive, but it is of like the time and place of where I am. So in particular, or for example rather, I've been on a healing journey for most of this year, and so a lot of my creativity is focused on exploring that. Then you have the Hearthling tier, which is just, again, yeah, lots of wholesome, cozy content. So every month you'll receive at least one recipe, if not more than one, often more than one craft idea, at bare minimum one, and instructions on how to do it. I try to make the recipes as accessible as possible. I realize that my baking skills may be above average, if I'm being generous, and therefore not everyone is ready to jump into making something super complicated. So I try to make them as accessible as possible. And then there are also gardening tips for those of you who have a green thumb or just daydreaming about having a garden or accumulating some knowledge, and halfling lifestyle tips for how to slow down and live more of that cozy life in friendship with the earth. The tier above that is called the Old Lord tier, and that tier has a slightly more spiritual bent, and it is again about connecting not only with the 4 seasons, but with their midway points. We follow what is known as the Wheel of the Year, which covers the equinoxes, the solstices, and the midway points in between. So essentially you have a holiday like every, 6 weeks or so? And it's just a wonderful way to stay grounded with where we are in the year, and to invite some introspection and personal reflection. So there are, I create a very robust, maybe too robust, workbook that is printer friendly. And it includes some tarot prompts and space for you to write and to self-reflect on that card reading. It's all very cozy witchcraft. And there's also my personal favorite, the Cauldron of Creativity, where I begin a folk tale and leave you space to fill out the rest. There's a prompt for a poem, there's a prompt for art, there's a prompt for spell crafting or ritual crafting to help you hone in on just like a theme for the season. We work with a different plant ally every holiday, and so we get to know, there's a whole separate packet where you get to know what the plant or herb is, how it can be used medicinally, and then have a bunch of like herb crafts, things that you can do. Again, I try to keep it accessible. Balms, lotions, face masks, fun things like that. And then of course, yeah, lots of recipes, like just for the season and or using that plant or herb. And excuse me, I've uncovered some really delicious recipes by looking at stuff that I normally wouldn't come across. For example, for Mabon or Mabon, we used rose hips, and discovered this delicious rose hip tart with a lavender shortbread crust. I've had several people come up to me and tell me it was one of the best things that they've ever eaten. My best friend, who was a professional baker, told me it's the best pastry she's had since her time in France. So I'm very much enjoying this journey of discovery. So the Old Lord tier is all of that and more. We also move with the lunations, with the moon, and if you're interested in setting an intention on the new moon, you can, and if you want to, you can share it. You don't have to. And then just kind of a check-in at the full moon, like how you doing with that. So I'm very much community-based and focused on growing community in that way. And then there is the Wildwood tier, which is where you get access to all of that below, and also to my full photo sets. And then above that, there's also the the Huntress tier, where every year you can request a photography print from me for free, and also get access to everything below. And I do want to take a moment to say that I get really frustrated with digital content. I get tired of looking at screens. So I've made an effort to, while I've made everything digitally accessible and hopefully easy to read on your phone, I've also made all of the important stuff printer friendly. So recipes, crafts, instructions, templates, they're all easy for you to print on a black and white printer at home. Some of this has been, I think, me wanting to return to like my childhood. I very much remember being a child in the 90s and going to the library and doing crafts and cutting things out and having paste on my fingers and just attempting to rekindle the simple joys of doing easy crafts that add such calm and focus to our lives. So that's a huge part of what makes the Hearthling tier and also the Old Lord tier feel so homey to me. Right now we're coming up to Halloween, so one of the freebies I have available is called a fluttering bat friend. I don't know if you've ever noticed in Happy Hobbit episodes, but I've got these black bats that I tape to the ceiling around the fireplace every Halloween, and when it is cold enough for us to light a fire, the heat kind of makes them flutter about. And so please, at the very least, go and get your free fluttering bat craft. And of course, you'll be able to see other stuff that's been available for free, such as your Hobbit Day celebration bundle, which I hope a lot of you took advantage of that. If not, feel free to download it for next year to help you celebrate Hobbit Day. And I've got free goodies planned for the rest of the major holidays here in my corner of the Shire as well. If you've somehow watched to the end of this video, then you're amazing, and I just really hope that you take the time to go to my Patreon page, check it out, and see if there's something that entices you, because the more financial support I have there, the easier it is for me to take the time away from other demands to make videos like this for you. Or rather, not like this. This is all one big sales pitch. To make actual Happy Hobbit videos and content that hopefully helps enrich your life. So if you feel like Happy Hobbit or any of my content has helped enrich your life, then please do consider giving back if you can by supporting me there, because it makes such a massive difference to me. And I don't know what else to say. I work really hard at it. I probably work too hard at it for... I mean, a lot of people just seem like they want to just support me and don't necessarily care about the rewards, but I work really hard on the rewards. So I really hope that you join and become a member, and that you participate in the community in the crafts, and that you share your creations, because that's what it's all about. So anyway, thank you from a rambling hobbit, and thank you for your time, thank you for your consideration, and I hope you're doing splendidly, and that you are a happy hobbit. I'll see you on Patreon. That felt forceful and mean. This is why I'm bad at advertisements. I feel like I'm being a jerk trying to rob people. I'm not trying to rob anyone. Like, I for real, that's all marketing seems to be to me. I explained it to my dog. I was like, it's just people who think I have money and they're trying to convince me to give them their money. And I do feel weird trying to convince people to give me their money, but it's hopefully that's not how it feels. Hopefully it feels more like I'm telling you this cool stuff that I've been working really hard on, and you can buy it from me as basically as a subscription, and it supports me to create more of the free content that you enjoy. Because that's the reality. Okay, I'm getting poked by a pine needle. Thank you for watching. Bye.